Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. There is a video clip playing on your screen right now, silently in the background, in which Brad Garlinghouse states that, among other things, and I'm going to share with you exactly what he said, but that Ripple's customers can, quote, flip the switch, end quote, meaning at a moment's notice, whenever they deem it the right time for them, they can begin utilizing XRP as a bridge currency for cross-border payments and specifically settlement. And this is true. Now, here's the thing, and there's a reason I want to talk about this. There's this, describing the adoption of XRP as a flip the switch moment is something that's been around since I jumped in the space over 4 years ago. It's the flip the switch moment. And so what do people actually think when they hear the phrase flip the switch? They're thinking of, oh my gosh, XRP adopted, clear usage, everybody does it all at once, now XRP worth $11 billion each. That's effectively the concept that's getting across here. And in reality, that's not quite how it's going to work. And so Brad happened to use a very, heavily used term within the XRP community. And it may have gotten some people thinking something outside of what reality is actually going to present. And it's not even like such a bad thing. I just wanted to share my 2 cents on this, and you can think whatever you think, that's fine. But there's this video that's playing silently in the background right now. It's been circulating heavily all over crypto Twitter, and I actually like the video, so I'm not here to critique the video. Like, the video is awesome. I don't know who made it, but I really like the video. It's just Brad Garlinghouse sharing some comments at the most recent Ripple Swell event, and then it shows one of those brainlet guys watching, presumably from his own computer, and he's like shocked. He's like, oh, flip the switch. And then it shows the XRP rocket going to the moon, and there's a dance party and it's breaking out. I think it's pretty well done. I think it's funny. So I don't know who created it. It doesn't really matter, I suppose. But that's not quite how this is actually going to go down. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. I'm going to hit pause on this because it's going to get distracting to me. There you go. There's Brad Garlinghouse standing there. So here's what he actually said in this clip here. This is Brad Garlinghouse at the most recent Ripple Swell event. We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. Let me pause right there and stop already. This is something that I've been talking about for some time. Crypto markets are supremely illiquid. Even having a multi-trillion-dollar market cap for the entire asset class, look at the liquidity. It's not that much. Market cap for these coins, not that big. I mean, you're talking about trillions of dollars flowing across borders today, like literally on a daily basis, trillions and trillions of dollars. And then you're talking about XRP with whatever the hell its market cap is now. I don't know what it is. Is it 40 billion, 50 billion, something like that, whatever it is? And I understand it moves fast, so it's not like the market cap has to necessarily be in the trillions, although if XRP is going to have long-term viability, I believe at some point it likely would be in the trillions. But there's not sufficient liquidity, because in order to make markets and convert from one fiat currency to another, there needs to be sufficient liquidity the world over. You know, that's one of the greatest selling points of XRP as a bridge currency. Because think about it, there's roughly somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 countries in the entire planet. So even if you just had one pool of liquidity in each country, how many trust points do you now need to have? Well, if you want to be able to conduct transactions with every other country on the planet, then even just one sufficient pool of liquidity in each country, that would do. And that's significant, because think about that. 200 trust points, I don't know if that sounds like a lot or a little to you, but consider this. There are over 11,000 banks and financial institutions on the planet. If you're a bank, you're never going to be able to build trust with all 11,000 plus institutions. But if there are reputable pools of liquidity, in this case, typically cryptocurrency exchanges, there's not a whole lot of risk associated with having trust specifically with them, because even if something goes wrong, you can just well, we don't trust you anymore, but bam, transaction stopped. Find another solution for that corridor. Go back to Swift, the legacy financial system for that corridor. Okay, fine. If something horrendous happened, right? And so there's a huge advantage to all of this. And you solve the pre-funding problem because people are already trading XRP. That's the point. If it's sufficiently liquid because people are already trading, you're just tapping into that existing liquidity. No more Nostra Vostra accounts. That's the point, right? But right now, there is not sufficient liquidity to replace the SWIFT system in terms of settlement specifically. You're not able to do that. And there's not going to be this flip the switch moment where everybody the world over just starts using it. And frankly, on top of that, Ripple's fantastic, but they couldn't even manage that anyway. Can you imagine going from however many are utilizing RippleNet today to magically, because they have hundreds and hundreds of customers, which is impressive, but imagine that from going from that overnight to 11,000 plus? No, a company can't. You're going to fall apart. You can't onboard that many customers and the technical support. You can't scale up that quickly. So it's not to say that you can't have exponential adoption of XRP as a bridge currency. No, companies can exponentially grow. Of course, I'm not saying they can't. And I believe in this case, if XRP truly is what we think it is in terms of being a bridge currency, and it's other things too, but if it's going to be in a meaningful way a bridge currency, then yes, the adoption rate will increase. But understand, we're talking about, with RippleNet, utilizing XRP as a bridge currency, it's an efficient path-seeking algorithm that Ripple has created. This isn't something, you got to understand, when we're talking about XRP as a bridge currency and an automated system moving it from one exchange in one country to a different exchange in another country so that you can convert from one fiat currency to another, that is very different trading than emotional buying and selling of the typical retail speculator. Okay, to be clear, and none of us know exactly what what things are going to look like in a world where XRP is broadly adopted as a bridge currency. I admit that, but what I'm saying here is that if you think that on-demand liquidity, automated trading of XRP is going to result just purely because of a ton of volume in a world where it's heavily adopted, if you think that's going to have the same effect as a bunch of increasingly higher numbers of retail speculators trading XRP, if you think those are going to be the result in the same increase in price action, you're going to be sorely disappointed. That's what I think. Because, again, one's an algorithm not designed to increase price. It's designed to be efficient, whatever the least or the most efficient path is. That's what it's going to pick versus retail speculators who get excited. It's all about emotion. Oh my gosh, look at us. People are jumping to this. And then I'm going to throw my money in too. And then the next person comes in. Oh my gosh, that's right. There's a bunch of crazy activity. I'm going to throw my money in too because I'm an idiot and I don't know what the hell I'm doing either. And that's how this works. Retail speculators are absolutely ridiculous. And I kind of love them though because there wouldn't be volatility without this type of behavior. So I recognize they behave like that. Just don't assume that an automated, efficient path-seeking algorithm is going to do the same thing. But that's not the whole story. I'm not saying it can't increase the price of XRP. In fact, with every use case of XRP and meaningful adoption, that's going to increase confidence that XRP and the XRP ledger are going to be around for the long haul, like decades and decades or hundreds of years, whatever it is. Like that, it's going to increase that level of confidence. That will bring more attention, which means more money coming in, and that can prop up the price. I'm just saying there's nothing designed in on-demand liquidity that just by the nature of transactions occurring will prop up the price. In fact, it's quite the opposite, and so many people have a misunderstanding of this. In order for these transactions to occur, there has to be a sufficient blend of price and liquidity. Right? It's not that, in order for these transactions to occur, we need X price, therefore it will happen. No. It has to you have to already have that sufficient blend, or else whatever corridor you're operating in, you can't facilitate the transactions from one fiat currency converting it to another if there's not enough liquidity. You can't. And the price has to be right too. So it's a blend of the two, with liquidity actually being more important than price. Because frankly, I don't care if the price is $1,000. If there's no liquidity, as in nobody's trading it, who cares what the last market sale was? There's no liquidity. So liquidity is actually more important than price if you're talking about XRP as a bridge currency, the people buying and selling it. So I'm not saying that the adoption wouldn't impact price. What I'm arguing is that if there's to be an increase in price because of this, it won't directly be a result. It'll more so be indirectly a result because it's always going to be humans determining the buying and selling of XRP. That the humans will always decide what the price is. That's it. It's not some sort of algorithm. And I understand. You're talking about moving XRP from one exchange to another. I understand you can talk about what that does to the order books, but there's always going to have to be a shuffling because in corridors, typically there's going to be a heavier flow from one corridor, from one endpoint to the other. And so there's going to be an outflow in particular quarters way heavier than income. So there has to be a shuffling of XRP back, and you can do that. I'm just telling you that these automated algorithms, they're not going to be paying way higher prices for XRP just to do it. It's like they're going to look for the low bids, and whatever's the cheapest, that's the route that the efficient automated path-seeking algorithm is going to go for. That's the only point that I'm making, right? And so, as fun as it is to watch this video, and it really is, like, I like the video. This is not a critique against whoever made the video. I think it's fun. I actually really do like it. I just think that for a lot of people, there does seem to be some sort of misunderstanding of what all of this is. But adoption is happening, and you understand, like, XRP, it's at the very core of Ripple's business model. They're the largest holder of XRP. They have the most to lose if this doesn't go well. And so it's at the heart of everything that they're doing, pushing for a healthy XRP ecosystem. And, part of that just means a further evolution of what it means to move money across the planet, specifically an increase in central bank digital currencies, and even stable coins. Do you remember this? This is news from about a month ago. This is from Ripple's blog series called Ripple Insights, and this piece was titled, Republic of Palau Partners with Ripple to Develop Digital Currency Strategy. This is November 23rd, 2021. I don't want to read the article, but they're talking about how, Ripple's talking about how they teamed up with the Republic of Palau, this nation, which is small. It's apparently something like 25,000 people, if I am recalling properly. I think that's what Jeremy Hogan said. I'm going to share with you a couple comments from him. I think that's what he said anyway. The Republic of Palau, they're partnering up with Ripple to create their own stable coin that's built on top of the XRP ledger. And so look, when you're talking about moving money, like, one of the biggest pain points, one of the biggest friction points is you can't have a pair of whatever your currency is with every single pair and then expect there to be sufficient liquidity the world over. Whatever the stable coin is, assuming this actually happens and it's built on top of the XRP ledger, okay, great. So it's an easier way to move money because it's a better digital form. It's more efficient than traditional ledger systems in the database. It's all automated. You can take out the middle, all that stuff. So there are technological reasons that stable coins do make sense. But if you're talking about converting from one fiat currency to another, no, that doesn't solve a damn thing. Because think about it. How many fiat currencies are there the world over? What else might you even want to trade into? So if you want to be able to trade, if there's not a direct pair, meaning whatever this Republic of Palau stablecoin is, a pair with that, and it could be the United States dollar, or the euro, or the yen, or the Thai baht, or just pick your cryptocurrency even. Well, you're not going to have all of those pairs. That's the point. Having a sufficiently liquid cryptocurrency like XRP as a bridge, ding, ding, ding. That's exactly right, because you're never going to have sufficient liquidity for everything the world over. But XRP is so heavily adopted, at least within the world of crypto, fine. It's not particularly liquid in the scheme of things, but it is one of the most liquid cryptocurrencies on the planet today. That is true. So in a world where there's increased adoption and increased liquidity, and if XRP continues to be towards that upper echelon of what it is to be a cryptocurrency in terms of price action and in terms of actual utility, meaning actual usage, and in terms of liquidity, what do you think is going to ultimately happen, right? Because here's the thing you can't program into a cryptocurrency. You can program blazing speed, efficiency, low or no cost for transactions. You can program all that into it, but you can't program liquidity. Either people are choosing to buy and sell it and speculate on it, creating that liquidity, or they're not. In the case of XRP, it's happening. It's definitely happening. You can't program that in. XRP has effectively the first mover advantage here. In terms of for this particular use case, obviously Bitcoin's the first mover in terms of the first cryptocurrency ever existing. But for this use case, yeah, XRP first mover, and nobody else is even trying to position any other cryptocurrency for this specific use case as a bridge currency. There is no other, and there also is no other solution, which is fascinating to me. And so what happens in a world where there's increasingly more central bank digital currencies and there's more stable coins? They don't talk to one another. They're not interoperable. This is part of Ripple sees this. What is the solution? You need to be able to bridge them. And so if you want to end the train wreck that is the world of global cross-border payments and settlement today, the only solution humans have come up with is positioning a technologically sufficient decentralized cryptocurrency that also has an open market price as a bridge currency, and XRP is the only one that is being positioned for all of this. Period. That's it. That's it. So seeing this and seeing the increased adoption, that's why Ripple's doing what they're doing. Why would they want to work with a nation to build a stablecoin on top of the XRP ledger? Because the long plan The end game is for XRP to bridge that stablecoin with everything else, because there won't be sufficient pairs the world over. There never will be. There never will be. But if XRP is heavily liquid the world over, bam, you've got your solution. So that's why this matters. So there is this tweet from Jeremy Hogan, who of course runs the very popular YouTube channel Legal Briefs. And he wrote the following: Palau is partnering with Ripple to use the XRP ledger for payments and a USD-backed digital currency. Palau was designated an offshore financial center in 1998 by the U.S. Senate, and two of the biggest banks on the island are the Bank of Guam and Bank of Hawaii. Chair Gensler called stablecoins poker chips from the Wild West and is fighting for regulatory control over them with the Federal Reserve. Is this the project that brings that fight to a head with the Fed and banks gaining control? Or has it already been decided? Yeah, so that's the thing. What jurisdiction are stablecoins in general going to be at? Well, I mean, there are some in the United States, obviously, but most stablecoins in existence never going to touch the United States. Why would I want a stablecoin backed by the yen, for example? Would I personally find that advantageous? Would most people in the United States find that advantageous? No, people that use the yen in their daily life, they might. I wouldn't, though. You need to bridge this all together. So this isn't something that the SEC is going to have 100% control over, but in the United States, oh, you better bet. If something's happening onshore in the United States, and especially if it's backed by the United States dollar, yep, they're going to get their grubby little mitts on it. And I'm still concerned about what that means. But big picture, this is a very good thing. This is part of Ripple's master plan, which will take a long, long time to roll out. And so, yes, I do believe at some point you're going to see an exponential increase in the adoption of XRP, which will bring more money to it, more attention, which means more money. This is my theory anyway. No guarantee in any of this. But it's not, what I'm saying is, again, to be clear, it's not the algorithm itself that will do it. Humans will always decide the price. But if it brings more attention, then indirectly, yep, price go up quite a bit. That's the way that I'm looking at it. So if you think I'm right, you think I'm wrong, cool either way. I don't need people to agree with me and share my view for me to like and respect them. So if you think I'm wrong, tactfully tell me, and I'd love to have a conversation with you in the comment section below. But I'm going to wrap up here. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.